Hi, it's Matthew here from Planes, Trains and Automobiles. So I've got a special train video for you today. This isn't any ordinary train. I'm at Mount Pleasant in London and we're going to have a look at the former Royal Mail train. Let's go and have a look. For 75 years, from December 1927 until May 2003, mail was delivered 6.5 miles across the centre of London between Paddington and Whitechapel on Royal Mail's private underground network, latterly known as Mail Rail. Following closure in 2003, owing to inefficiencies as several of the sorting offices which the network served were relocated, Mail Rail was mothballed. In 2017, part of the tunnel network was reopened to the public by the British Postal Museum and Archive. It is now possible to take a ride on a specially designed electric train which takes passengers on a 15-minute circular journey around Mount Pleasant, which features an entertaining audio-visual presentation as you make your way around the circuit. Here's some of the highlights of the ride.
Hello and welcome to Mail Rail. You're about to explore some of London's hidden underground postal railway. I'm Andy, your guide today, and I'm joined by Ray Middlesworth. Hi Ray.
Hi. I worked here as an engineer for 27 years, keeping the trains running. But not just any old trains. This unique narrow gauge railway was designed to carry not people, so if you're feeling a little cramped, that's why. And although we have a driver today, the original mail trains were driverless.
It was a huge network of automated electric trains running right under central London, carrying mail between main railway stations and sorting offices much faster than along the congested streets above our heads. And it's amazing to think construction of the railway began as far back as 1914, with the tunnels dug by hand. Work was put on hold during the First World War, but when the railway finally opened in 1927, it cut the journey time across London from a few hours to just 30 minutes.
It was an engineering marvel. Mail Rail ran almost non-stop, night and day, for over 75 years until 2003.
As we explore, we'll be going back in time to see tunnels, loading platforms, and a few surprises. We'll be at our first stop in a few minutes. Some sandbags just then. Ray, could you tell us about that? Sandbags on the line.
That's called the sand drag. That's a pile of sand on the track designed to stop runaway trains. If they run down that hill we've just come down, that will catch them.
About to see looks much as it did on the day it shut down in 2003. Ray, can you describe it for us?
When Mail Rail was running, this platform would be a hive of activity. You'd see people playing darts between the trains arriving, guys conversing back and forth and wheeling work up and down. It was a noisy and lively place to work.
Ray's going to tell you more about life working on the railway as we take a trip down memory lane through the many decades of Mail Rail.
We're under Mount Pleasant sorting office, heading east to Whitechapel. It was hard work down here, but we all thought we were part of something important. There was enormous team spirit. We seemed to get ourselves in the news a lot in the 90s. It didn't hurt that Bruce Willis made a film down here called Hudson Hawk. In the 80s we had our 60th anniversary. Along with that we had a new brand and finally some new trains. I'll tell you two things that sum up the 70s. Postcodes made life a lot easier, and strikes made life not so easy. The swinging 60s. Those World Cup stamps sold out after England won. There were a few celebrations down here that summer. In the 50s, air travel became much more common, and so did air mail, and that meant even more of it travelled along mail rail. The railway was bombed several times. This station suffered the most damage when it was hit in 1943. Amazingly, the railway was back up and running the very next day. That reflected how vital the railway had become.
The tunnel off to the left leads to Liverpool Street Station, where mail was transferred to the main railway network. Further down that tunnel, it looks like a maintenance crew is checking the flood barriers.
This side's good. What's that?
Ray, there's something else here that people might be interested in. Can you tell us about that?
When we move off just up ahead, look down towards the track. You might catch a glimpse of the train graveyard, where disused trains are stored. I must have worked on all of them at some time or other.
Don't worry, everybody. Just a power cut. Ray, can you explain?
Power cuts happen from time to time when the railway was operational. We could draw power from the next station along to keep everything running.
OK, on we go. Now, let's go a bit further back, to the early days in the 1930s. Then there was no email, texting or instant messaging. Whatever the message, it was sent through the post. So there was a lot of mail to move. Trainloads of mail arrived at every station, every few minutes, with less than 60 seconds to unload and reload. Let's follow a few of those letters. So those 3 letters all got delivered quickly and safely. And so did the other 4 million which travelled along mail rail each and every day.
You could say that mail rail was the beating heart of the British postal system. I hope you've enjoyed your tour of London's hidden postal railway. It was unique, and I loved being part of the great team keeping the railway running.
We hope you'll enjoy exploring the rest of the exhibition just as much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
In addition to the train ride itself, there are also a number of engineering exhibits. There are some artefacts which were in the condition they were left in when the network closed 16 years ago. You can even have a go at being a railway controller. Or try your hand at sorting letters by hand in a mail train. All in all, the mail rail exhibit is really well put together. It's quite unique and entertaining, so I recommend that you go and check it out for yourself. Bye for now.